Every single mechanic from the Grand Theft Auto franchise is going to get overhauled and improved upon in Grand Theft Auto 6, and today I want to talk about the combat system, specifically the hand-to-hand combat system, fighting styles, how to get a new fighting style, why this is important for GTA 6, and why this is important for the story as well. Let's get into it. We already know that fighting is going to be a very big part of Grand Theft Auto 6, even though we haven't really seen a lot of the fighting. The only things we have seen is the following three things. One is this screenshot of Lucia Caminos, who is obviously the main character in the game, alongside Jason, and she is fighting in a fight club. She's hitting the bags, so that's number one of the fighting mechanics. Hopefully we will be able to actually train different fighting styles and have a kind of warm-up mini game where we can hit the bags and try different combos, and maybe that will be like a big thing where you have actual fight competitions that are boxing matches, maybe kickboxing or even MMA matches, but probably mainly boxing alone. And you will have increasingly stronger enemies that you will fight against, kind of like Wii Sports boxing, where at the end you have to fight Matt, which is basically the Wii version of Floyd Mayweather, and he was the most difficult one. And then these punching bags would be a great way to practice your combos, and maybe there's increasingly difficult combos that you can learn as well. Maybe you can go to a sensei, just like in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, after you have built up enough muscle and enough stamina to train and unlock different combos, which you then can practice on the punching bag and then actually use to win these fights that maybe give you money. And talking about fighting competitions, this brings us to this shot in trailer 2, where Lucia is actually fighting in a cage, aka, cage fighting, and she's also doing a kick, so it is probably kickboxing, not just boxing, right? And this is an underground one. Maybe there is real fight competitions that are legitimate and also underground illegal fight competitions. Because of GTA's history with Grand Theft Auto 4 and its DLC, The Ballad of Gay Tony, where you as a main character with Luis Lopez could go and fight in these underground cage fighting matches, they will probably reintroduce that in Grand Theft Auto 6 and leave the actual legitimate fights to be desired, meaning they're probably only gonna be illegal fights in the game. But honestly, I wouldn't mind that. And one thing that I would love to have is just a kind of little storyline with these enemies that you are going to fight against. Maybe there is some ish talking right there. Maybe there are some cool cutscenes that introduce these opponents that you have, and you get to know them a little bit, and maybe you even become friends with one and you can hang out with them and do side missions, even though you've beat each other up plenty of times. Just you can spar with different people. There are so many opportunities for Rockstar to make this a great experience and make it really deep in terms of how advanced these systems can be technically, but also how fun and immersive they'll be in terms of gameplay aspect and storytelling. Both of them can be a really great combination, but we'll just have to wait and see. In terms of storytelling, we know that Lucia is a fighter from the moment she could walk, because that is what her character bio says. The very first sentence even says this. Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk, and it's alluded to that this is because she grew up in a tough neighborhood, because this character bio also says life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family landed her in the United Penitentiary, so that's how the story starts of GTA 6. But that little part where she has been fighting as soon as she can walk, well, that says a lot about her character, and probably also why she doesn't trust anybody, going back to that scene in trailer 1 where she has trust, because, if you need to fight growing up every day, then yeah, trust issues are going to occur. And then another very curious scene in trailer 2 is this one of Jason, who is throwing this random guy at his own car, and we don't know if this is again a part of the fighting mechanic or just a cutscene that is just going really quick, where Jason just talks some ish and teaches this guy a lesson for some reason, or maybe it is gameplay. I hope it's gameplay, and that comes back to having different combinations of buttons that you can use. Maybe there's one that is like a special combination where you never really know what you're gonna get. I wouldn't know how you would have this in practicality, where you can throw somebody, maybe you can grab somebody and then throw them. That's maybe one of the button combinations that you can do. So we'll have to wait and see, and this is why I kind of need you guys in the comments, because there are so many opportunities for this to be super great, but I don't know how deep Rockstar Games is going to go with this in GTA 6, or maybe they're not going to go deep at all and it's going to be one big disappointment, but I don't think so. I mean, there is a lot of stuff that we can already tell from these moments in the material that we've seen from Grand Theft Auto 6. I also do think that Lucia and the whole fighting part of the game is going to be introduced inside that prison at the beginning of the game, where Lucia is just having a tough time just getting by day. Obviously, probably, I don't know how prisons work, or female prisons, but probably a lot of inmates that are female don't like the pretty ones. And Lucia is both pretty and she can fight, so she's gonna get into a lot of trouble, probably in the penitentiary as well, but maybe not, because she's getting out. So, you know, we don't know. But what do you guys think of that? Like, there's so much to speculate on, and this is one of the things that I do really want to reiterate, and I want to know what kind of things you guys want to speculate about in Grand Theft Auto 6 before the next trailer, before the next, you know, marketing push that we're gonna get, because there is a lot that we still don't know. We don't know like 3/4 of the map. We don't know anything about the story, really. We don't know a lot. I mean, I don't know how the mapping project was doing at this part of the GTA 5 marketing back then, like how detailed that mapping project map was back then at that moment, but we got a lot of information already, but it still seems like we haven't even like scratched the surface. And one other question I have for all of you is, do you think that our speculation is too ambitious, or do you think they will absolutely knock it out the park and these systems and gameplay mechanics will be as advanced as we are imagining it to be right now? Because I think, you know, again, back to my $2 billion video, like what? 2 billion? Of course it's 1 billion and another billion for the marketing, but yeah, it's gonna be insane how much stuff they are putting into this game. So I really wonder, alongside with how good the graphics look, how much new stuff we're gonna get. I hope they're gonna go all out just like they did in the trilogy with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They just put in as many features as they can, and now they got the delay, so they either have to fix some more bugs and glitches, or they are going to put more mechanics in, or they're gonna do more optimization, probably all of them, but we'll have to wait and see until that game comes out. Please continue to speculate with me. I love speculating about these types of topics, so let me know what you think. Thank you to SadLife420 for gifting all these members on screen right now. See you guys next time. Bye bye.